And I was like, well, I really want to write more comedy. And he's like, okay, you got to the end of this week, write something.
I mean, I was just playing an asshole, so I had to try to tap into that asshole. Pause.
But also grandma.
I'm not gonna lie, I was fishing for that answer.
I guess the part where we get drugged. Someone goes, slap me. And then like you were.
Hello, everybody. This is Daniel Carrero coming to you live from Lawrence, Mass. I am the host of Character Development, and today I'm sitting with the cast and crew of Friendsgiving, a short film about dysfunctional friendships and love. Was that a decent summary?
That was great. That was really good, actually. On the first time, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was my first time doing the description, yo. But I'm gonna pass it off real quick to the crew, let them introduce themselves, and we're gonna talk about it.
Okay. Hi, my name's Sarai Bogran, co-director, writer, acted in it too. So yeah.
Hi, my name is Michael T. I'm a co-director. I helped produce this film, and yeah, I did a lot of things on this project that I'm proud of, and I'm proud of this whole cast and crew.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Bernard. I play Steph in the movie. I am Jerry's fiance.
What up, what up, what up? My name is Jaden Belizaire. I'm an actor in the film Friendsgiving. My role is Jerry and my fiance, Stephanie, right over here. And yeah.
Hi, my name is Sandra, and I play Kiki.
Hi, my name is Naima.
I was very thankful to have watched the short film the morning, like literally an hour or two before we came to do this. I was very impressed by everything from the writing to the acting. I think you guys brought everything to life, right? And sort of what I'm seeing now amongst all of you guys is a lot of camaraderie. I heard y'all talking about y'all one big happy family, but in that short film, it was not like a big happy family at all. And I guess my first question is, what was it like sort of carrying out that story of a dysfunctional friendship, and sort of what did you guys bring to the room when you portrayed everything?
Ooh, I mean, I have the mic, so I'll just start. But I think, like, even though we are kind of like a big happy family, our group is so large that it's very dysfunctional. And I think just coming from like a big family, and I don't know if anybody else, can relate to that. It's not hard to like pretend. You know what I mean? You can just draw from like personal experience. Yeah.
I mean, putting groups together, that's always been like a really good thing I like in terms of film. I really like ensembles. I feel like having a bunch of characters in a room and seeing how they react towards each other, it kind of feels very interesting just seeing all these personalities clash. So I think I was able to, help collaborate and bring everyone together as a co-director and just see how the pieces would move once everybody was put together. So a lot of assembling and just teamwork, really.
I did want to agree with Sarai. And then another thing that we talked about was we kind of drew some inspiration from The Bear. Like that that episode, it was like the Christmas dinner. So a lot of that was like inspiration, but also like Sarai was saying, like, I know a lot of the inspiration was also like just our friend group and wanting to do something with all of us together. And, when you have different personalities and different people in a group, like there's going to be some dysfunction, right? Like at least a healthy level of that. So I feel like it was natural for us to kind of bring that in, and seeing that we had already kind of had a friendship, it was even easier to riff off each other because we knew like how we would play off each other, how we could improv, how we could add. So that was really cool because it was like, yeah, you could add some of the dysfunction, but I feel like we could also showcase like how well we work together because we already had that relationship with each other. So that was pretty much it.
And I would say you guys definitely did. The chemistry was insane. You know what I'm saying? I really felt invested into the whole group. You know what I mean?
I would say growing up in a dysfunctional family is kind of what helped me like channel my character. I grew up in the same household as Sarai, so we know firsthand what it's like to have a chaotic, messy, loud, large family. Even though it's not from a friend group, you can use that and put your same experiences in and, just channel that through your character.
So my next question is, I want to stay on the dysfunction thing for a minute. You two, okay, the happy couple. All right, the happy couple. I'm just curious as to what y'all experiences was like playing that relationship. Right, it had so many highs and lows, and I honestly just like sort of like yeah, what was going through y'all head, and what do y'all walk away with from that?
I mean, I had a lot of fun. It was really funny to me because I feel like the character I played is very type A and I can be very type A. So it was kind of easy to slip into that. But also it was just so funny. Like the relationship, the dynamic was just hilarious. So I think it was just so well written that it was easy to slip into that. And I feel like Jaden and I have a good relationship. So it was just easy. I don't know, we just clicked and I had a lot of fun. What I took away from it was, I don't know, just like how fun love can be. I love the proposal. That was I was like just so much fun. We were trying to like come up with things of what can we do in lieu of a ring, and we ended up using a gravy boat for
What?
a gravy boat. We use a gravy boat that she proposes with. So it's just like, you know, that's what I took away from it. Just that you can make it fun and there's just room for that. So I don't know. Jada, what do you want to say?
Honestly, let me just say Steph was awesome. Like, bro, she's as soon as like I got to really know her for like the first month or so, I met her. Like I could tell she was just talented. Like she's just like a character. I know she could act. She does voices too. Amazing. So I was super excited to get to like act with her, but also really felt like a hangout, to be honest. So that helped alleviate a lot of the pressure I had coming into it, because this is like my first like real like acting role. So I was super duper scared, but with her being so good, it made me want to be better, or at least try to be at her level too. Like I said before, when it came to us acting with our relationship, because it is, a bit dysfunctional. No, I mean, not the best. I channeled like my own experiences and try to get that feeling onto the screen.
Was this the first time acting for other people? Please, you've been refusing the microphone now. Like, I'm dying to hear from you.
Yo, you can talk too, bro.
Well, please, yeah.
So like, if anybody knows Jaden personally, he's like a super nice guy, like all around, just like a sweetheart. So in this film, he was kind of like, can I swear?
He was a what?
Can I swear? He was a dickhead. Like his character, like he was just like not a good guy. You know, he was kind of rude to his girlfriend. So when Jaden, I was trying to like help him get into character. I was like, you know, like just like think of like someone that like the last person you dated, or like someone that you just like you know your ex or whatever, just someone you despise. Like put yourself in that situation. Have you ever had a really deep argument with someone, your past partner? Like put yourself in those shoes and how you felt and those emotions, and then deliver that. And like seeing him switch over was like magic. So I feel like, yeah, you can play a good bad guy if you wanted to. Yeah.
Her telling me that I should think about one of my past relationships that was like dysfunctional helped a lot. Like that really made me like tap into like, okay, this is how I have to feel. Like this is how you become a dickhead.
In all fairness, I really did dislike you. Like,
word?
especially in the beginning.
It was very toxic.
When you were talking about her cooking, I was like, kick his ass out. Like, kick his ass out. No way, not here. But in the end, I was like, oh, nah.
I brought it back. You know, Jerry, you're not totally terrible.
I was gonna yell, but I'm like, let me not. Okay, hi guys, my name is Sarai Bogren. I'm the creator of Friendsgiving. If you haven't checked it out yet, you should go watch it on my YouTube channel. It's about dysfunctional friendships, growing up.
Yeah, so it was my first time like having lines and everything in a film. It wasn't too hard just because my character really felt like my real self. Everything I said in those lines is things I could relate. So it was like, yeah, I just think about being myself. It was just hard, I guess, remembering your lines and when to say it, the cues, like, and what's that word y'all use when things have to be in the same place after you take continuity. Oh my God, that's like a headache. So having to like, if I put something down, like you remember where I put it, that kind of thing, yeah. But other than that, I think it's really fun. It's fun what you're doing with your friends, so it's a good experience.
Would you do it again?
I did do it again. I did a little short film with Michael and Sarai. I think I like doing it for fun. I don't think I would pursue it professionally. Just it's a lot of work, very time consuming, but definitely as a hobby, it's fun.
Oh crap! This next question is primarily for the writer, as well as for the main character. Yeah, because that character seemed very much emboldened by grief, or like the fear of loss, the fear of change, and sort of like I guess what inspired you to write a story about that? That loss of friendship, that loss of community and whatnot, and sort of that change, right? And did you work anything out personally by doing that? You don't have to answer that, but you know what I mean? A nice little soundbite maybe.
I was like,
Or not even anything personally, but did you gain another perspective on sort of friendships and how that whole thing works? You know what I mean?
yeah, that's a great question. Well, I feel like how the script came about, Michael and I were like talking about, we just wanted to do like another short film. And he's like, I just want to do something like now. And I was like, well, I really want to write more comedy. And he's like, okay, you got to the end of this week, write something. And I was like, bet. So I'm like, we went back and forth on Discord. I was like showing him each draft, and he's like, okay, you need to add this here. I was asking other people's opinions, watching a lot of comedy movies. And then, also you mentioned you wanted to do something with everybody in the group chat, and I was like, ooh, like I think a comedy would be perfect for this. So yeah, I drew a lot of inspiration from our friend group since we have such a large friend group. The dynamic can be so different between each person. So I think that's why it was so easy for everyone to like act to, because it's just drawing a lot of inspo from real life. But then also, I think I'm very much a person who just loves being with their friends. I love like just having like community. So I've definitely experienced like the sadness of things like just changing, and I kind of, not that I don't like change, but it's like when you have friends, you kind of just want them always there. And because we're in this like age of, we're obviously like young adults, like, but we're starting to get to the 30s, late 20s, and like so many, so many things are changing. So it's like, people start having their own lives, and it could be sad because, you never know when's the next time you're going to see like your friend again. So I think it's just like something that a lot of people can relate to. We love you, Nick.
No, but yeah, opening the question up to the floor, did you guys, experience any evolution in thought or perspective change after doing the short film when it comes to y'all relationships and y'all friendships and whatnot? You can say no.
I think emotionally, in terms of the film, the cool part is that the location we shot it in, I have Friendsgivings there every year. Like, that's usually where I have Friendsgivings with my friends. It's my friend Isabella's house, and it's her basement, and I always loved how it looked. And luckily, we lucked out, and I asked her if we could shoot in the location, and it felt very much like, it felt bizarre in a way where like now instead of us having a legit Friendsgiving there, we were shooting a Friendsgiving, and it was all planned out, and it was cool because staging the spot, it was like I already knew where like certain things belong because we already do it over there at that house. And I feel like emotionally it almost felt like I was thinking about the Friendsgivings I've had in the past with my friends at that house. So it was pretty sick to just put that into perspective and put it into my mind in terms of filmmaking, and thinking about my friends while editing it, and just being in that space. That's what I took out of that, just those experiences, and just almost like applying it to like a memory at this point. Doing the film, just being present in that space, and like wherever the space ends up in the near future, it's always going to be there because of this film, which is cool. So yeah.
If I may, that's a particularly, I think, important note. Like, that's the beauty of making art like this, is that we do really get to preserve those really most important memories. Because one day that house might get sold. You know what I'm saying? Might not be able to. You might have to break in. You know what I mean? If you want to go revisit the memories, but we shouldn't do that. You know. So please.
I wanted to say that I feel like for me, it like solidified the connection that I have with my friends, as we met on another film, another one of Michael's films, on Bailando. I met pretty much everybody there. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, then a group chat, emerges, and you're like, all right, how long is this actually gonna last? And to me, it was one of those things I was like, I'm cherishing every moment, but it's like not really feeling or believing like, oh, this is gonna be something that's gonna last. But then so many things came about where like, I would see people in the group like working together on creative projects. And then this movie came about, and it felt so nice to see like my friends create this, but also want to include us and like believe in us as actors and like believe that we can make something beautiful together. And I feel like after that experience, especially, it really solidified that like, wow, this is a group of people that I can count on. This is a group of people that like believes in me. This is a group of people that I can grow with, like personally, but also creatively, right? Like we can work together and it works well, and we can have a good time and still be friends, So that's really what I took away from it. It was really nice.
For me personally, I don't think it really changed my perspective on how friendships are, but I know it definitely grew my friendship with all of these guys. The fact that they even told me to like act in this film, I was shook. And the fact that it was like I'd be like a main role, I was even more shook. I'm like, I've never acted before. Like, you gotta trust my abilities that much. And when they reassured me that they did, I'm like, wow, that's actually so beautiful. Like, I have to do this now. Like, I have to keep on going with it. It was just such a wonderful experience. I'm really glad I'm able to sit like amongst these guys, like the terrific human beings. Nah, real shit. I love y'all so much. Thank you for hyping me up, and let you all know, like, I already like do my best to like treat you guys like kindly, but like I want to always like do the best I can, like, because you guys deserve it, truly.
I would say this film kind of helped me try to like hold on to memories as much as possible and hold on to friendships. It taught me that not everything will last forever, and people are going to leave and people have going to go their separate ways, but you can always cherish the memories you had while everyone was together,
This is directed for the directors, but also, please, the cast can answer as well. I don't know if this was on purpose or not, probably, but the film had a nice balance between humor and discomfort, because there was times I was like uncomfortable. I was like, this is awkward and I want to leave. But then it was also, funny. And I guess, to the director, sort of, how did you guys navigate, creating that balance? And how did y'all feel experiencing it, I guess? Yeah.
Well, wait, can I ask what parts like you were like, oh, I feel awkward?
The one that stands out to me the most is the doorway. Okay, them two are.
I love that scene.
Y'all are going at it, and then you over here like, and I'm over here like, I kind of want to go. It's shit like that, right? Where it's like, it adds to the humor for me, but it also is like, it can be difficult to create those situations and make them feel real. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes back to like rehearsing. We did a lot of rehearsals together, and I think that's what helped so much. Not only just us being friends, but the rehearsing definitely helped with the dynamic on set. And like particularly that scene with the doorway, I've had experiences like that as a kid with like my parents. I feel like people have experienced that, or like even like your friends that are arguing and like you're trying to like pick a side. So I think I always like to say that there's so much like humor in like bad situations, and I love that combination, and I love writing just like, yeah, like dark situations or sad situations, but that are humorous also, because that's the best way to get through it. And then also when you look back at these memories, like you tend to laugh even though it wasn't fun in the moment. But yeah, just to kind of get those like awkward situations or whatever, it was just like a lot of rehearsal, I think, between everyone, and just again, drawing on real life experiences.
I'd love to add that one of my favorite things about this film is I think the second half of the dinner scene. We did that take. It was a one take, and it was a 9-minute one take of them just doing the whole second half of the arguing back and forth at the dinner table. We did two two different sides of the thing, but it was a 9-minute take, and we didn't cut. It was just constant, just them riffing off each other, and I think that was like phenomenal. And I love when this film, I really like saying that it's very much like the actors are. This is like their playground, like that table scene. It was just their playground, and they played really well, just going back and forth on each other, and it was incredible to watch. Like it was even to a point where like there'd be times where I just get lost, like in it, just watching the monitor, and sometimes it would take me a while to just yell cut because I'm so into it, and that was really fun to watch. And you know they rehearsed for like weeks. I think it was about 2-3 weeks of rehearsals, and yeah, it shows. Like even once we were rolling, like they knew what they were doing, and that was just beautiful to watch. Just everyone on the monitor just seeing it, and yeah, that's one of my favorite things about this film. Just that moment.
Can I ask a follow up? Because now, yeah, you bring up the second half of the table scene. Ari's assistant.
Oh man, yeah.
Did he improvise all of that? Was that all improvised? Was that scripted? Because
a lot of it was okay.
the giraffe birth canal joint, like.
Okay, so I'm so sad. I wish Kwame was here because that guy is so awkwardly hilarious and so random, and you would think it's an act, but like no, that is him.
I met him in person.
Yes,
I saw him pull up, and I was like, "No way, my man's in this, right?
Yes,
no way."
Like that is him. And so like obviously like, you know, we had jokes written, especially like his character's supposed to be like weird and like interesting, like who has an assistant and all that. But like that was a lot of those jokes were Kwame, especially like the giraffe thing. We like were like dying laughing when we're like, what? Like we had to Michael had to call cut a couple of times because we're like so confused every time Kwame said something. But that was him.
I did want to add something. Just on the improv, I agree. Yeah, Kwame's like a god. He's just so fucking funny. Everything he said, like he just his presence, he shows up and we're all laughing because that's just how he is. But I do have to give props to everybody with the improv, really good, but especially Naima. Oh my gosh, she ate that up. She was so good. Like I feel like for me personally, I feel like she kept me on my toes. And now I was like, oh damn, like she's eating that. Like next take, like I gotta bring more. So I think it was really good because kind of to what Jaden was saying earlier, it was like we kind of really riffed off each other, but it was like we're almost like inspiring each other, motivating each other to like do better, to meet each other where we were at. So I just had to give you a shout out, girl.
Wouldn't even have assumed that was improvised, yo. Kwame's was like, because it was so out the blue. I was like, and also I know him. I'm like, that's something he would say in real life. But yeah, yo, that's okay. Impressive, y'all. For real.
I actually wasn't even originally in the cast. I showed up on set. I was originally supposed to be just a makeup artist and hair. And then the girl that was supposed to play me wasn't able to. So I kind of had to just show up and do it. And then I did, and it was so much fun. Yeah.
Of course. That this girl, not only did she like save everything, but she learned her lines in the Uber ride there. Like, isn't that insane? And then she killed it. So I just wanted to add that in. Yeah.
Do y'all have, outside of the character you played, do y'all have a favorite character in the short film?
Of course, it's Ari's assistant.
For real?
Like it has to be. Who else would it be? Like.
Oh, hi there. I didn't see you there. I'm Michael T. I'm a filmmaker. And if you're watching this, I just want to let you know, go and watch one of our short films titled Friendsgiving. And if you don't know what Friendsgiving is about, you don't want to lose your friends. So what do? You hold them hostage. Don't know what else to tell you, but I hope you enjoy the film, and I hope you enjoy this YAP session that we've provided for you, and I hope to see you guys soon. Now I'm gonna go read.
Okay, yes, but also grandma.
I'm not gonna lie, I was fishing for that answer.
I knew you were looking for that because it needed to be said. So it's funny. I'm so sad that she's out here because she's so hilarious. She's just so, that's another one. Like just her presence on the set was so funny. And I remember because when we shot like that doorway scene we were talking about earlier, we also shot like the audio of her like screaming from the bathroom. And so we were there just listening to that. And I was like, I hope that they're not catching me cracking up for every take because she was unbelievable.
Yeah, Karen's the GOAT. I was dope. Ari's assistant too, Kwame. One of my favorite lines that he improv'd was the caca in the film. I saw him do that during one of the takes, and it was really hard for me to just hold in my laugh so I don't mess up the sound, because I didn't even see that coming, and that was just too funny. But yeah, the top two. But everybody did amazing. I can't complain. I love watching the film. I was the editor as well, so I was watching it over and over again. Didn't get tired at all.
It was great. I watched it this morning. I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't know if you was
I was just giving you.
No. Same thing. But I will say, I love that take of Sanja and Naima when they're at the table and they're like getting to that point where they're like drunk and high, and they're Sanja goes, "Slap me," and then like you were just so naturally funny.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the part where we get drugged, I kind of had to enter my like stoner. I was like, all right, like how are you when the edible hits? And it just like it felt natural. But yeah, I mean, I could take a good slap.
That's great.
Yeah,
that was so much fun. I had such a good time, especially with you. Like we were sitting next to each other, we got to like improv off each other and play off each other's vibes. And most of it was just like on the spot. Like we didn't have like an exact idea what we wanted to do. Like the slap was so much fun. I think I accidentally hit her a few times, but it's okay. It's part of it. Makes it real.
There was this other part. I think when you stand up in the film, there's a portion where you stand up, and I remember I went to the sound when we were doing the sound sessions. There was when you stand up, I told them, can we get like she's about to throw up, and it came out like so perfect, and then you sat down, and then you and Sanja, like the dynamic was just so sick. Yeah, that's like another favorite part, little tidbit I really love about the film too. I don't know if you noticed that, but yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need to
tidbit.
rewatch. I freaking okay. I saw in one of the notes that I was giving, it said that starring in comedy can be considered easy. I'm not going to agree or disagree with that. I've never acted before. I can't really tell you that or no.
Me either.
But I do think that like the comedy genre is one of those things that probably it does look easy, but it's hard to be funny. All right, it's hard to be funny. And I guess what was y'all experience trying to be funny or being funny? I guess.
Yeah.
So I do live theater a lot, and I recently did a comedy show, and I can say from experience firsthand, being funny, especially when acting, is something that you can't try to be. You can't like act funny. You kind of have to just embody funny, if that makes sense. And it's like you can't go into something thinking I have to make this person laugh, because if you try to be funny, it's not going to come across as funny. You have to just act natural, and if people find you funny, it's going to be something that it's in them, like they're not going to look at you because you're acting a certain way. You have to just embody it and be it, I guess. Yeah.
That's so good. I totally agree with that. I feel like another big part is like the writing. Like the writing has to be funny. And because like the way that it's written, like the pace that it's written at is really gonna inform like your delivery of that line, like the pace of the scene and the whole film really. So I feel like it definitely starts with the writing, and the writing was hilarious. Like the first time I read the script, I was laughing. Every time we did rehearsals, we were laughing. So it was just funny. And I agree. It's like you can't try to be funny. You just have to put yourself in the situation, because this is just like real life, and real life sometimes is just funny, you know what I mean, without you trying. So I think it's just that, like, just step into your role, like be the character, and if that character lands and it's funny and it's meant to be, then that's what it's gonna read as. But yeah, like if you try too hard, it just doesn't work that way. But I feel like for sure it starts with the writing, and the writing was like, it just made it, to me, it made it easy, because I was like, oh, this is hilarious. Like, we don't really have to put much into it. It's just like step into the character and it's already funny for you.
I was definitely trying too hard to be funny at some points. I'm not gonna lie, because again, it was my first time acting. I'm like, okay, I have to like impress people. Like, I gotta do a good job, and unfortunately, I messed with my delivery a couple times with some of the takes. Cause I was just thinking too hard. Like, okay, I could do it this way and that way, but eventually, I just figured like, it has to be more natural. I kind of have to let loose more. And also, I was trying to think of different ways I could be more funny in the film. In one way with my face. So some of the facial reaction that I had, you just did right now. Some of the facial reaction that I had in the film, I kind of tried to make it more dramatic. Like Haitians, they call that grimace, but in English, I think it's called just like grimace. Like grimace, like the dude from like McDonald's. And then I just tried to like make some of these like most like annoying, disgusted faces I could during certain parts. I remember in one scene, my grandma was talking with me, and she was asking me what a Ferrari was, but for some,
It was a Bugatti.
a Bugatti.
Bugatti.
And after I answered her, I just gave her like this most annoyed, disgusting face. I'm like, I'm just tired of you asking me these questions. All this stuff is going on right now. And like, at least that made me laugh inside. And I think I could tell from the audience, like when we first showed it at a LT, like some of them were actually like laughing. I'm like, okay, I was doing that right. So that's something.
I think with comedies too, and I think overall films, but especially comedies, I think your first test audience in the comedy is basically the crew. Mm-hmm. Like when you're rolling, if the crew's trying to hold their laughing and you're not trying to get the sound in that, I think if everyone's laughing on set, then mission accomplished. And that was very much the case with this film too. So yeah, I would want to say, if your crew's laughing at the comedy you're making, then you got a winner. That's just how I see it. Yeah.
I may have lied about the 2-question things because my man got a question, so we got 2 more questions.
Yeah. Ooh, Nick. Nick got a question.
Yeah. So just curious. So it seems like good amount of the script, obviously well written, put together, and then the other half is kind of up to the actors, right? So I guess my question would be, given the script or given your character, did you feel that you were given enough guidelines for your character, or did you feel like you had to kind of breathe some life into your character, and did you enjoy that?
I feel like it was for me personally, I feel like it was like a really good mix. Again, because they like a lot of the inspiration was already our friend group and a lot of our personalities already. Like my character's name's Steph. It's not that far from who I am in a sense. So I feel like it was easy to build off of. And then also with the rehearsals, like creating that chemistry with each other. Like obviously we have chemistry as friends, but creating that chemistry with the characters. I feel like it was a good mix to me. Like there was some guidance, but they definitely left a lot of room for us to play in and like to improv. And I think that added some more. Like that's what helped like bring the characters to life. Especially in that scene when we're at the table like bickering with each other. I think you can really see like that really coming forward.
I think it was a decent balance. I'm not great at remembering lines, so I kind of had to improvise here and there. And luckily with the guidance of Sarai and Michael, they just told me like how this character should be, and I was just really going by that. And no, I think that's basically it. I wasn't really struggling with finding my character too much. I mean, I was just playing an asshole, so I had to try to tap into that asshole. Pause. You know what's crazy? I didn't even mean that too.
Tap into that asshole.
No, I'm gonna end it there.
I feel like we got to include a clip of Dr. Umar Johnson. Excuse me?
So I had originally auditioned for a different character for this film. I auditioned for the role of Dez. As I was like, I don't know anything about acting. I'm gonna pick the character with the least amount of lines and input, so I don't fuck that up. But so I decided to switch and give me the role of Kiki, which I was very appreciative of. But yeah, in terms of direction, when our lines are very short, like we didn't have a long script, and we got to set. Michael and Soraya were like just improv a lot. So I'm like, okay. And every time we would do something, I was waiting for him to yell cut because I'm like, I don't know, I'm just making this up as I go. But he didn't. So I was like, all right, I guess this is how it works.
I want to say that me and Sarai have basically our entire lives always like improv with each other, ripped off each other. We would be the only ones laughing in a restaurant, making our own jokes that no one else understood. So I feel like having that kind of helped me, especially because I was already working with her. So it felt like I was just back at home, making jokes with each other. And we were able to improvise really pretty well. I have a lot of practice because of we just say the stupidest things and go off each other's energy. What was that?
Only we find each other funny.
Yeah, we find each other funny. So I think my ego is boosted so high that I think I'm the most hilarious person in the world. So it was really fun to be able to play with my character, and it was basically just me. I was just playing myself, kind of an asshole too sometimes, being sarcastic and rude, and I was just being myself. So I think it was really fun to be able to have a sort of guideline for my character, but also get to just basically do what I wanted. So
I spent the week watching a lot of freaking movies because we had the vacation off from work. And it occurred to me after I watched the short film, there's a lot of white people in a lot of those movies. And whenever there was people of color in those movies, it wasn't ever really anything funny. It wasn't anything very positive necessarily, right? And so what is it like for y'all being able to tell sort of a more positive and a more funny story coming out of our community rather than, I guess, what we're used to?
Yeah, such a true point. And I think I love movies and I love filmmaking and I love being creative, but I hate that aspect of this industry, that there is not a lot of diversity, even though they try to make it seem like it. And when there are people of color, when there are, Latinos, whatever that they try to add in, you could tell it's so forced just to have that inclusivity, but not really mean it. And I think whenever I try to make a film, I want people like me to feel like they're seen, to feel like they're heard, that there's more aspects to us, not just the dramas you see, not just the people that are drug addicts or the gangs or whatever. There's other roles for people of color also. And I think that's a conversation Michael and I have a lot. Who do we know that we want to shine some light on and give an opportunity to? But then also we want more people that look like us, on camera. And so that's always the main thing we have on our mind when we're making something. But yeah, I'm glad that you brought that question up. It's a really good question.
We need more Sankey Pankies as much as we need azúcar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I was always told to make the movies that you want to see, and I think it's really important, as a Dominican and, being in a community from Lawrence, I think it's really important for people to see their lives on the big screen too. Because, most of the movies I watch, it's the regular white kid in the suburban neighborhood and, they're struggling. And it's I never get to see someone that lives on Essex Street, the apartment, and it's very much a comedy, and it's always struggle. It's dude, why can't we have fun? You know, like as much fun as you guys are having in those films. And I feel like it's really important to have diversity in the cast, because it's really important for people to go to the movies and see themselves on screen. That's a big thing. Like I always tell people the story about going to see In the Heights and seeing a plate of plátanos and basically, you know, queso friao on the screen. Like that was on a Dolby screen in like 4K. I barely see that shit on a television screen. And that was pretty sick. Like I feel like that stuff should happen more often. And that goes for everybody, really. And culture. It shouldn't just be one culture on screen. It should be multiple. And it should be told the right way. It shouldn't feel forced. I really like hearing people tell me that, oh, I only see that happen like in my house. How is that on the screen? Like that's different. And it's cool because, you know, it brings, I think the word is, I might butcher it, familiarity on screen. That's really important. And I like hearing other people tell me that when they watch movies. And I want to keep doing that with my films. So, yeah.
All very good points. All I'm going to add is, yeah, that I agree. Also, I feel like it's important to tell these stories because it's important to remind like people like us, our people of color, that, you know, we don't have to stay in this stereotype and this mold where it's like your life is just suffering and strife and trauma. That there's more, right? Like you can see a different side of what your life is and could be, and it's like, wow, like that gets to be highlighted. And I feel like a lot of times, and I feel like it's not only from media but also generational. A lot of us are coming from like immigrant families. A lot of the trauma gets passed down, and it's just this burdensome, and life feels so heavy that it's just nice to be able to have something that showcases like a different side of our lives. Like we can also have fun. Like, yes, there's all this that comes to us generationally, but that doesn't just mean that that's who we are. It doesn't define all of who we are and our experience. So it's nice to have that, break that mold in media, but also like personally to see like, yeah, we can just have a light, fun time. And even though there's awkward, weird moments that make you uncomfortable, it's like you can laugh through that. And you see that you have people that you're enduring the discomfort with and laughing through it. So.
Just real quick, I guess, something I thought of as you spoke was the fact that, like, low-key, all them traumatic-ass movies, low-key just be re-traumatizing us. Yeah, damn. Thank you for making me think about that. Oh, man wants to add something.
And then just to add to what Daniel's saying, but to speak a little more positively, we're hilarious. Like, Latinos in general, like, yo, I crack up with, like, nobody else, and then you go watch TV or see a screen, and it's, you know, sad story, boo-hoo, womp womp. And we don't want to see that anymore. So thank you guys for creating a more positive story.
Yeah, please, Jaden.
First, I'll start off by saying when I got the role, I had in the back of my mind, and this is me being like a reward or whatever, but what if there's like a slight chance to make black people seem bad in the film? And of course, I'm not thinking that's gonna happen. Like, I know these guys. I know Soraya and Michael. They're not on that type of timing. They're not on that shit. But, you know, you always have to think about it. Like, yo, I'm about to represent like a whole people as a black man, as a Haitian man. Like, I want to make sure I'm like a good example. Granted, Jerry is an asshole in the film, but, you know, he's not like a monster. You know, he's just like a regular douchebag that you meet like every day in life. And secondly, you know, as a black person, I've always watched so many of these like hood films, urban films growing up. And you're absolutely right. All these are so fucking sad. Like, half these got like really like terrible endings, or no, because I'm thinking back, like when you were talking about like, okay, right, Menace to Society, really terrible ending. Boys in the Hood, you know, not a complete terrible ending, but still very sad. You know, it's just like just over and over and over again. You know, there gotta be more, and that's why I say like one of my favorite urban films gotta be Friday, for sure, because you know, like serious stuff does happen in that film, but it also highlights like the beauty of living around like an urban area with like other like people of color. You know, it's not always just like sad times. There's a lot of happy times. You know, you're just going through regular life, and you know, I felt more seen in that film compared to like a lot of others.
I think films like Friendsgiving, it's very much like for us, by us, like, and is it by us or for, no, did I say it right there? Okay, for us, by us, because it's like, you know, the writers are Latino and the characters are playing are Black and Latino. So a lot of times growing up, whenever I see Latino representation, it was usually someone that had like Eurocentric features, very light skin, you know, straight hair. A lot of times the actors themselves weren't even Hispanic, which is very problematic in itself, or they were like half white or something like that. They didn't speak with an accent. And I always felt very confused. I'm like, do I not look Hispanic? Like, because, you know, we all know that Latin Americans, we are so diverse when it comes to race. For the longest time, I kind of felt like I needed that. Like I needed to see someone that looks like me who was playing a Latina. There's times where you see like Caribbean actors, sometimes they play African American roles, but it's very rare you ever see them play themselves in that sense. So I think now we're seeing it more often, which I really appreciate.
Shouts to Al Pacino being a Cuban mobster in Scarface.
Yeah.
I kind of just wanted to add on to what everyone else was saying. I think, especially in movies, Latinas and Black people have a very like traumatic and sad and hard like showcase in film. And I think although that is true, we do have hard lives a lot of times and we go through a lot. Because of that, we try to find the happiness that we can, try to find the joy and laughter. I feel like, especially in families that are struggling a lot, we always make each other laugh because that's something that we can do. It's free and it makes us feel good, you know? So I think we need to showcase that we try to be positive, even though a lot of times our situations can be very negative, and we need to, you know, share that positivity with everyone else as well.
Does that mean we're wrapping up now?
I think so.
All right. If I may just put the character development message for the day. Laughter is the cure to all suffering. Shouts to these guys.
Hey, clock it.
Oh yeah.
Shameless plug.
Okay, yeah. Watch Friendsgiving when it comes out April 1st. Screening April 4th for the people that can be here. Love you guys. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, watch Friendsgiving April 1st. Watch Friendsgiving April 4th. And if those dates already passed, watch the movie today, like after watching this. Or if you haven't watched it and you're watching this before the movie, watch the movie after. Or you just finished watching the movie and you found this, go watch the movie again. And then after watching the movie again, tell a friend, and then send the movie to a friend, and then send them this interview. I think I got it, right? That was everything?
You did.
All right. Friendsgiving. Woo! Or it's out now. Yeah. That was it, right? We cut? We cut it? We cut it, and that's a cut.